No, I absolutely do not want to go down, but what other choice do I have?
Each week, I get the free game from the Epic Game Store. I have over 400 titles, and until the start of the series, I played less than half. A dozen. I've stopped calling myself a gamer and started calling myself a collector. Now, I may never get through my back catalogue, but I can't stop it getting worse. Join me as each week I play through the latest giveaways, and maybe we find some gems along the way.
If looks could kill, she'd tear your heart to pieces and eat it. No reason, got venom in her lipstick, sadistic, I'm dead. If looks could kill, I'd be buried like 10 feet. Come get me, I'll dress it for a funeral. As usual, I'm dead. If looks could kill.
This week's first game was Echo Generation Midnight Edition. Echo Generation Midnight Edition is a turn-based adventure set in the 90s where you lead a team of kids to investigate mysteries surrounding the town of Mapletown whilst trying to film the latest indie sci-fi monster horror film. After being told I wasn't allowed to leave the house without my sister, and my sister refused to leave the house without a traffic cone, I left anyway. I found a traffic cone, but was unable to take it due to the nearby dog, so I decided to search the neighbourhood in the hopes of finding something to distract the dog with. Instead, I found about 20 other problems, give or take.
Okay, let's see my to-do list.
A local kid had gone missing. My friend, who I needed to talk to about filming our movie, was locked away in a treehouse that required Christmas lights to access. I found an inventor who wanted to trade, but only after I found a bunch of other random junk. I beat up a raccoon for some fish bones. I found the school principal who was definitely up to something sketchy, probably involving that missing child poster. And I found a gang of raccoons blocking my path until I recruited another party member. So now, with more tasks than I could shake a hockey stick at, I found myself back at the original task of obtaining a traffic cone. Eventually, I figured out how to distract the dog, grabbed the cone, recruited my sister, beat up the raccoons, and finally started making some actual story progress. Combat in this game is turn-based, with a little bit of quick-time event thrown in for flavour. Each special ability has its own individual input sequence, which I guess was supposed to make it feel like I was earning my critical hits, but instead just made it feel like I was being punished for failing. Echo Generation is a very slow burn. For the first 45 minutes, I was genuinely considering giving up, but once the game finally gets out of first gear, it snowballs surprisingly quickly, and I found myself completely hooked. The biggest issue for me was the story. It feels like the writers had 5 different ideas and decided to use them all. One minute I'm investigating a possible serial killer, the next I'm fighting robots. Then I'm investigating a crashed spaceship. Then I'm investigating my dad's mysterious disappearance. And then I'm back to worrying about finishing my homemade sci-fi movie. It's entertaining, but it definitely struggles to stay focused.
Let me see the script.
The combat felt a bit sluggish to begin with, and some of the input sequences were unnecessarily demanding. That said, I really enjoyed the retro voxel art style, the exploration was rewarding, and there's plenty of content packed into the adventure. I give Echo Generation Midnight Edition a 7 out of 10. The other game this week was Luto. Luto is a narrative-driven psychological horror that focuses on atmosphere, puzzles, and mind games rather than the traditional gore. You play as Sam, a man who's simply trying to leave his house, which turns out to be significantly harder than it sounds. The game opens in the middle of a desert during a violent sandstorm, as your vision slowly closes in around you. Then you wake up to discover this is a recurring nightmare of Sam's.
Although he hasn't had this one for a long time.
Standing in front of the cracked bathroom mirror, Sam begins another seemingly ordinary morning. His house is filled with half-packed boxes, suggesting he's preparing to move away from his childhood home. You head downstairs, collect your keys, and leave through the front door. Then you do it again.
Suddenly, Sam starts running. He must be in a hurry.
And again. Each day feels almost identical, until one morning, the keys aren't where they've always been. It's a tiny change, but it immediately tells you something isn't right.
Hang on, those keys were absolutely not there at the start of this day.
It's common for him to lose things all over the house, especially now with this chaos of boxes everywhere.
Soon after, a mysterious voice on the phone begins speaking to you, and we discover the narrator may not have our best interests in heart.
How much longer are you going to pretend to ignore it? Don't do it. Don't let him get you again.
We head into the basement, where there appears to be a whole nother dwelling.
Led him to find something strangely disturbing in the basement.
The layout feels eerily familiar. Objects are repeated, flashcards are scattered around exactly like they were upstairs. Everything feels wrong, but in a way that's difficult to explain.
This place. Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
After solving several puzzles and making another phone call, you gain access to a room that the narrator clearly doesn't want you entering.
Still, he decides to go deeper into this house, even though he knows it's probably not a good idea to do so.
As you venture deeper, reality completely falls apart. Suddenly, you're inside a cave leading into the desert from the opening sequence.
Sam recovers, disoriented, in what appears to be a cave. I see. Sam walks through the desert with a strange sense of relief. After all, it was just another one of his nightmares.
From there, the cycle begins all over.
Oh shit, here we go again. Worst place in the world.
You wake up in front of the cracked mirror, only this time something has changed. Then it happens again, and again, each loop becoming just a little more unsettling than the last. I absolutely loved this game. It constantly plays with your expectations. Every environment feels familiar enough to be comforting, yet different enough to make you question whether you remembered it correctly. The atmosphere is phenomenal. and the game builds tension through uncertainty before shaking you with a cheap jump scare. My only real criticism is the puzzle design. A handful of these rely on solutions that feel almost impossible to figure out naturally. Early on, for example, you need a hammer to pry past some wooden slats. To make the hammer appear, you have to pick up a phone and dial SOS 3 times. I eventually had to look this solution up because the game gives you virtually no clues that this is even a possibility. It's the sort of solution that feels disconnected from the otherwise logical exploration. Everything else, from the atmosphere to the storytelling to the sound design, kept me completely invested. If you're a fan of psychological horror, I highly recommend grabbing this one while it's still free. I give Luto a 9 out of 10.
He enters his room, but immediately senses that something is not right. This is not his room.
Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you might be interested to know that I've started streaming my playthroughs, at least for now. Check the description for the Discord channel. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to be notified of next week's giveaway of 4 Tales. Or if you've played either of these titles yourself, please drop a comment and let me know your thoughts.